Hello, it's been a while since my last video. I was a bit disappointed with the flowers in the garden this year. There wasn't anything particularly special, and the grass hasn't been as dense as I would have liked. I think it will struggle to make it through the winter. I will have to look at getting a different type of grass, maybe something for shade or for wet soil over the winter. The fence became unstable in the winds in the summer, so it's got to be replaced. I'm going to do the whole lot rather than just the one post and the 2 panels. But I've been thinking about what will happen when the work's being done. Will I lose all of the plants in the border? The grass may be trampled to mud. What about the cornice and the flowers I planted this year, and the hollyhocks and the foxgloves? Will they be able to come back next year, or will I have to start completely over? I'm going to put a slightly taller fence in so that the garden is more private and enclosed. We're lucky enough to have neighbours that we get along with, but I think it will be nice to make the garden a little bit more private, although this will mean that we'll get less sun. I've been looking at the options for replacing the fence, maybe using concrete posts so that they don't rot, or maybe a different type of fence altogether. I'll make my decision in the next couple of weeks. I've been thinking about the plants and flowers in the garden, and I would like to be growing more native plants. Anyway, here's what's been happening in the garden over the last few weeks. The red sunflowers opened at the end of August. They lasted for a couple of weeks. By the 17th of September, they're all over. On the other sunflower, the extra buds kind of opened into very small, cramped flowers. I noticed something glistening in the sun on my pot birch tree. When I looked closer, I found many small caterpillars eating the leaves. I looked them up on the internet and they seemed to be sawfly. I decided to leave them be. They made some interesting shapes with their heads down, arched bodies and tails in the air. Over the next few days they ate a lot of leaves from the top of the tree. I found one had escaped and was eating the hazel, so I moved the hazel away from the birch tree and it didn't get eaten anymore. The caterpillars got bigger, but there are less of them now, and there are only a few left, but still plenty of leaves on the tree. In the pot plants, a very small sunflower almost opened alongside the statice. The plants in the other pot have been slow growing and are only just flowering now. The sunflower here was eaten before it opened. Dianthus has a second flower in, but I think if I had deadheaded it more carefully, I would have more flowers now. The pot in the corner, the only plant that did well was this blue horizon variety. I think this corner of the garden gets less sun than I expected, and next year I'll pick a different plant for this location. The sea holly is well and truly over now. I took one of the heads off and casually sprinkled the seeds in a pot. I should make more effort to do this properly and maybe make more pots as well, but the thought of the fence replacement is looming over me and I'm finding it difficult to get motivated. At the end of August we had some hot weather, even the nights were warm, so I decided to try planting the zinnia. I know it's the wrong time of year, but it does say that these seeds need the temperature around 20 degrees to germinate, so I was interested to see if they would grow, and they did. I'll be bringing them inside now and see if they can grow inside over the winter. I also planted some hollyhock seeds, which were from last year from the white hollyhock, and also some foxglove seeds, which were also from the white foxglove from last year. These are the California poppies I planted a few weeks back. Also some toadflax in there. I'm not sure what will happen with them, if they can survive to the spring. We'll see. The hollyhocks that didn't have flowers this year grew some huge leaves. I don't think they will survive the works for the new fence though. The sweet corn plants grew to be different sizes. A few very small ones, but then 3 quite big ones, reasonable size. I did try to fertilise the top of the cobs with the tassel. We'll find out soon how successful that's been.